Hello everybody and welcome back to Memory Gamma. Today we're going to finish my little series of the 4 main factions with a Dominion ship. So we did the Ducat's Bird of Prey last time with Ducat as the captain, on the grounds that as the Dominion are the antagonists of the series, they don't have very many hero ships that would be considered. However, I've decided to go for this time for another ship which is heavily favoured in one particular episode, but not in Deep Space Nine. Just saying that should automatically tell fans exactly which ship it's going to be, but in case you need anything else, it is going to be the Dreadnought Missile from the Voyager episode Dreadnought. So, this is a Cardassian ATR-4107. It is a long-range tactical missile. Everyone who watched the episode will remember. It's got a payload of 1,000 kilos of matter and another 1,000 of antimatter. Can destroy a small moon, and designed to basically take out whatever gets in its way on its way to its main target. In Attack Wing, it came out originally as a faction, as a booster, as a retail ship, and it was a bit powerful. I mean, with the 6 attack dice and 180 firing arc, that's powerful on its own. Its abilities and its tech weren't 100%. There was a card pack which upgraded it and brought a load more stuff into the fray to make it better. However, there is one main rule. A reason why I've chosen to do this is a bit of a difference in building idea, is because the Cardassian ATR-4107 cannot have any captain or admiral on board. So, and also you may notice it has no crew slots. So, no personalities at all. This is a ship entirely based around weapons and tech. It's an automated weapon. Now, that's not to say that you can't put crew onto it. There is tech upgrades that allow you to have crew slots. One of them is actually in the Dominion, and we might go there in a minute. So, we'll start, and we'll have a look and see what we can do. So, I've gone for the modern version of the Dreadnought. It got a little bit of a discount, and it got a better ability. So this one is, while you have no damage cards, your captain skill is 12. So to counteract the fact that you have no captain, your skill 12 while you have no hull damage. So you can take shield damage and be fine. However, the first point of hull damage at the start of the next round, your captain skill will go down, unfortunately, to 1 for the I have no captain. Now, this can be repaired if you manage to repair that hull point, or that hull damage. As soon as you have no damage cards equipped to your ship, your captain skill will then, at the next recalculation point, go back up to the 12. And of course, that captain skill can be increased if you have something which gives you a bonus to your captain skill, which again, we might look at in a minute. But for now, double tech, double weapon, evade, scan, target lock. Again, the basic sort of rule it gets with this is that Cardassian ships get the 180 forward firing arc and high dice, but no battle stations. So, swings and roundabouts. Now, normally I would go here, right, which captain should we put on? Can't have one. Or admirals. There are no Dominion ambassadors, and there are no Dominion construction upgrades. However, there is a generic construction upgrade, which it could be attached to, which is the ablative generator, which is only for a unique ship, and it has to be at least hull 4 and shields 3, which this ship is. It gives you the ability to disable your remaining shield and decloak. You can't make primary weapon attacks this round. However, you get to basically grid cancel up to 5 damage this game round. So, you know, if your shields... Now, it is only remaining shields. So, again, if you have no shields, it still works. It could be nice. However, this is going to be looking at 11 points because its cost is equal to the ship's printed hull value only, so 6 points. So it's an expensive upgrade, but it gives you 5 points of additional hull, effectively. And that might be worth something taking, since obviously while this thing has no damage cards, it's got a high captain skill. Being able to keep that hull point going might be an idea. We pop that on there. Oh, 6 points. It says Federation faction, but construction upgrades do not pay faction penalties. So, let's go for some tech upgrades. And again, if we stick to Dominion, We can always take that off again later. That's simply something that works quite nicely here. So, Dominion tech upgrades. We've all saw some of these when we were doing the Ducat's Bird of Prey. So you have things like high energy space field, which can discard the cards, target a ship at range 1 to 3, remove one of those tokens, and then give you a token. So you can target someone at the start of the combat phase, for example, steal one of their battle stations tokens. It's kind of nice, but it's expensive. There's some stuff which is ATR-4107 specific, so countermeasures. Discard the card to roll +2 defense dice when defending, and after it's completed, you can make a 2-dice counterattack. Sounds okay, but it is a discard, and it's 5 points. Now, here is an upgrade which did come with this pack, which is a very nice one. Shield adaptation. While you have active shields, the attacking ships against you lose 2 dice when firing primary, and 1 dice when firing weapon cards. So, throw that on board. It is also fleet unique, which is very good, because if that thing was even ship unique, I think it would be broken beyond all belief. But it's a nice thing. It means that while your shields are up, you get... it's just easy to survive, because the enemy rolls less dice against you. Now, the other tech upgrade, which we can look at here, is the Legion Crew module. It's a 2-point Dominion tech, which is, again, fleet unique. Has to be on a Dominion ship. It adds 2 crew slots. So, we get some more abilities. And immediately, it literally loads over to Ramata Clan. Now, Ramata Clan is a very nice person. He's one of the few Jem'Hadar which can go on any ship rather than just Jem'Hadar ships. As long as you are in the forward firing arc of at least 2 enemy ships at range 1 to 3, you can discard Ramata Clan, have +2 to the captain skill to the end phase, and +2 attack for all attacks this round. So that's very nice. Now you will see, obviously, this ship's already 46 points. The Dreadnought missile is not a cheap ship, but at 6 attack dice as standard, there's not an awful lot of help it needs. Other crew upgrades, I mean, you could put, say, Glindaro on board. Glindaro would allow you to repair that hull damage if you do get hull damage. You would be able to, I mean, it doesn't have any agility. This is the problem. So wherever all the damage you take, you are sucking up. You have to take it. Armata Gun gives you a defense dice, which is nice. It's just a passive +1 defense dice whenever you defend, which could be nice. It just gives you a chance to evade that little bit of extra damage. It's not going to make a huge deal of a difference over the long run, but it might make the difference occasionally. You could have Lamatucan. If you've already got a target lock on the enemy ship, you can discard Lamatucan to basically change your target lock at the start of the combat phase. Now, that works quite nicely if we were going to do one card that I am quite a fan of, which is Final Stage Targeting. That's the one that says you have to have a target lock on a ship to be able to fire at it. So if you've target locked someone, and then after everyone's moved, they're no longer in your firing arc, Lamatucan is a good one to go, okay, well, couldn't shoot at you, let's change target locks. So, Bohica, nice one. Brinade, again, nice. Brinade is probably a good one to have, because it's just if you've got a scan token when you attack, you get to convert a blank into a hit. And you can scan on the action bar. So you're looking at maybe scanning to activate the Brinade. You get 8 dice with Ramata Clan. Now, weapons. This is the ship that came with the Matter Antimatter Warhead. This is the pack that it came with. 7 dice, range 3, forward firing arc, target lock to fire, and if it hits, you put an Orcs power token besides everyone at range 1 of the defending ship, as they all tuck up some minor damage just from being nearby. It's quite nice. I do like it. It's also one of the few weapons which actually is an improvement over the weapon value of the ship. A lot of people don't bother with weapon upgrades on this ship because why would you need to upgrade 6 dice? We're going to throw on the Tactical Command Reticle. I know I used it on the Ducat's Bird of Prey, and I am trying obviously to not reuse cards. However, it's an absolute standard. It's any Dominion ship 1 per ship, 2 points for an extra attack dice every other round. And unless you have a very, very strict points limit, there is no situation where your Dominion ship will suffer by putting this card on board. Dominion don't have support ships. None of their ships are kitted out for support, repair, not attack. Every single one of them is a warship. It's the only faction where every single ship is a warship, besides the Klingons, I suppose. And even then, some of the Klingon ships have got you've got Klingon tech, which helps with repairing other people and fixing bits and pieces. And there's lots of repair and lots of staying alive. The Dominion works on the principle of we have more ships than you, and we can rebuild them faster. So, other things you could do, there is a plasma wave. Now, this is 4 dice, range 1. It targets all opposing ships. 360. So, that's really, really nice. And if you do that on the turn of Ramataclan, that's 6 dice at everything at range 1. Now, that requires lots of stuff being at range 1, but it could be possible. Plasma wave is also unique and is locked to the ATR-4107. So again, there's some upgrades which may only be put on specific ships. And the ATR has an awful lot of this ship only. The other one that you're going to find that has an awful lot of, oh, okay, this can only go on you, is a bioship when we get to 8472. So, that's a 60-point dreadnought right there. And that will do you good work. You will be a bit harder to kill with the adaptation and the ablative generator. So the adaptation works while you've got active shields. As soon as you have no active shields, you have to discard it, at which point you can use the ablative generator to keep going. Ramataclan, if you get mobbed up on, gives you bonus dice and bonus captain skill. The Brenade is a good way of getting you some passive blank conversion. Tactical Command Reticle gives you bonus dice. Plasma Wave's good for shooting everyone nearby, and the Matter-Antimatter Warhead is something for picking off that that support ship which sits right at the back and doesn't actually get near you. Now, obviously, not very few people like the Matter-Antimatter Warhead and think that it's overpointed and a bit silly. I'm not in that camp. Again, I am very much of the opinion that there are no bad cards. There are cards which are situational. Every card has a point at which it's a brilliant and it's the card you want. You just have to find the situation for it. I found that the Matter-Antimatter Warhead is very, very good for, said, sniping out a particular ship which is hanging back. So, beg pardon. A support ship, so something like a Romulan science or a scout vessel, an Oberth or a Miranda. A ship which job is to be at the back. Or even, it could be the linchpin ship. So in a Federation swarm build, taking care of, firing off at, say, the capital ship or the Sabre. The ship that gives out bonuses to everybody else. It's a nice way of getting a really powerful smack on an important ship. And when you throw in, said, the Tactical Command Reticle as well, it gives you an 8 dice. And 8 dice is something that not a lot of people get to fire. It is a discard. There are ways you can bring it back or stop it from being discarded. Balana's Codes is an independent tech upgrade which came with the card pack for Dreadnought, and basically means that when you discard a weapon upgrade, you can discard it instead. Also, I feel I have to mention there is one card which came with this pack, which basically changed how the game works. It is Captured. It's a 1-point question mark upgrade that goes on any ship, and that ship gains the independent faction, meant to represent the Marquis capturing the Dreadnought missile. It does give a bonus to the enemy if the attacking ship shares a faction with you that isn't independent. They roll an extra dice. So you capture the Dreadnought missile. If you get fired at by another Dominion ship, that Dominion ship gets a bonus dice against you. So, there's a tiny downside that doesn't come up so often, but Captured is quite prevalent, and there's quite a lot of use you can get out of Captured. It's only a 1-point upgrade, and it makes the ship independent, which means that all of the independent factions, Ferengi, Kazon, Zindi, and obviously the actual independent cards all become no faction penalty. Then you can do an awful lot with this thing. If you throw on, not on this ship, but a normal combination is Captured and Calvin Hudson. I will get to that when I start doing Marquis. But at that point there, realistically, you get as many slots as you like at almost nothing. But for the Dreadnought missile, if we stick to the weapon upgrade, let's look at what we can do to have something a little bit more wide usage rather than just the one-shot high damage. There is a Thoron shock emitter, which came with this pack. Both versions of the card pack came with a Thoron shock emitter. It's quite a nice thing. Basically, you pay 2 points for the modern one. It's a range 1 to 3, 6 dice with a built-in target lock. So you could have that. You discard the card, fire 6 dice, 7 with tactical command, and because it doesn't require a token to activate, you could have your scan token to get the blank conversion. So after you've re-rolled, you get a blank conversion. That's a nice thing. So the Thoron shock emitter is very nice, and only for 2 points. It's not even ship unique. So if you wanted to, you could just load up multiple of these, but it is locked to the Dreadnought missile, to the ATR-4107. So again, most of the cool stuff is locked to this ship. So there's swings and roundabouts to bringing these. I have seen someone bring 3 of these as their fleet. This one and 2 generics, loaded up just with weapons galore and using them as ram boats, because they'll survive 1 blast because they've got, I said, total of 8 durability, 9 for the name ships, and with 9 durability you'll survive the first hit, at which point the enemy generally doesn't survive their first hit since they're firing 6 dice standard, which can be buffed up. So this is one build for the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought doesn't have too many ways you can do it differently, given the fact that it's limited on no captain, no admiral, and no crew as standard. But as I said, with Legion crew module, you can add crew on board, which increase its durability and increase its flexibility. Tech upgrades, you can put anything you like on. Weapons as well. Making use of the high weapon value and the 180 firing arc is a really, really nice combo. It goes quite fast as well, so it's good at chasing things down. But, so yes, this is probably one of the least flexible ships in terms of what it could do. But again, it's got tech slots, so you can turn it into anything you like. You know, use it as a support ship, put some crew and tech copying things in your tech slots, trade your weapon slots out for other things being independent, and use this as some sort of massively armed support barge. If someone wants to come up with a build like that, be very interesting to see, and it would be a unique thing that I don't think I've seen anyone else do. But thank you very much for joining me. This is, as I said, the end of the main 4 factions. I've done 2 of each faction, 2 Federation, 2 Klingon, 2 Romulan, and 2 Dominion now. I'm now going to be looking at doing sort of a single build from each of the smaller factions, so moving on to Ferengi and the Borg and the 8472 and so on. And also I've had a request for a particular ship, which I will also do a video on. If you have any requests for ship classes, named ships, or characters you want me to do a highlight of, again, pop them in the comments, let me know. And obviously if you like the video and the rest of the videos, like them, follow the page, it helps out a lot, and I'm very, very grateful for everyone that watches. And until next time, thank you very much.